Good Wednesday evening, and welcome into the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I am Randy Rosetta. We will have Friendship, Lubbock Cooper, and Liberty tonight. That's every Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Every Monday night after Thanksgiving till the end of the school year is the LISD night, which is Coronado, Estacado, Lubbock High, Monterey, in that order, 6 to 7:30 p.m. We're going to jump right into the Tiger Fan Zone since it's Wednesday night and it's Friendship's time to shine. And we are here with Friendship softball folks. If you're watching on TV, to my far left is first-year coach Ryan Miller. I'm going to let the two girls in between us introduce themselves so radio folks can identify them by voice.
Hi, I'm Alex Rangel.
And I'm Kelvie Roberts.
Thank you guys for coming in. I'm glad we finally got a chance to get you in. You've been busy. It's been kind of sporadic with spring break and a long basketball season and then a soccer season when your team was one of the three that stayed alive a little bit longer than everybody else. But softball season's here. You guys are right in the thick of – I don't know if right in the thick of things is the right thing to say, Ryan. You guys are leading the pack.
Yes, sir. You know, we just finished up the first round of our first district – well, I guess our first district round. Went 5-0 and ready to see the second half.
18-2 overall, 5-0 in district. We were kind of bouncing around the different rankings in there, and I liked what you said in there. You guys don't pay much attention to that. You just show up and play. You guys talk about that. You guys, new coaching staff this year, new way of doing things, but a lot of the same girls back. Alex, what have been the ingredients for you guys this year to click so well?
Well, getting to know Coach, as just getting to know him, and we all of us girls have the same bond. Nothing has changed about that, and just
What about you, Kelvie? What have been some of the keys for you?
I think before district, we all had a goal. We set our goals for what our season wanted to look like, and every game that we've won since the start of district, we're just getting closer to our goals, and it helps because everyone is supporting that, including Coach Miller and everyone else on the team.
Ryan, when we met, I guess, late last summer and talked,
yes,
one of the things you said, and I will absolutely verify, is you inherited a pretty full cupboard. You stepped into a program that Robbie had built into a monster these last several years. That's pretty nice. You had it going at Levelland, too, so it's not like you left one behind. Stepping in, what did you find that kind of opened your eyes to, I like what we got going here?
Well, I mean, we get out there and these kids they know softball. And so it makes practice go a lot faster, a lot easier because we're not having to stop and really focus on little things, which, we do talk about the little things a lot and how the little things are going to build up and take care of the big things. But as you said, Coach Dickinson had this thing rolling and kind of stepped into the driver's seat and just trying to continue the tradition.
I remember when I saw the announcement of his resignation, the stretch of district championships. I can't remember what it was, but there's some pressure there. You want to keep that streak going, but it also means that you guys have done things well, not just varsity level, but at what level does this start kind of sinking in that we're a pretty good softball program? We want to keep this going as long as we can. I mean, your sub-varsities have been pretty dang good, too. Does that kind of sink in early when you start at Friendship? You get to the Friendship and you know that you're heading to the varsity level, that the expectation is basically excellence?
I think our atmosphere, once you do get on varsity, is very different. JV does prep you a lot, but the way that we play and the way that we surround ourselves and hold ourselves is very different, and I think that all of the girls on the team enjoy that. The excellence that we drive for is we enjoy the challenge. We enjoy having to meet that.
Being around Friendship athletes the last 6 years with the website, one thing, and Ryan, you've probably picked up on this, they like being the hunted. There's sometimes that can overwhelm a little bit for a high school kid, but the kids here and then the kids at Lubbock Cooper have gotten used to that through the years. I think the Liberty, that's going to pick up there. I'm not going to there's this fun little rivalry in Lubbock. Let's put it that way.
It is. The expectation is what you keep talking about, is the expectation, and these kids expect to win, and that's what we're going for. In our JV, they are very successful right now. They're 14-3, 15-3, something like that, and they're doing their part as well. And so in our practices, our JV and our varsity are usually going head-to-head on various things. We do live sessions every day, and that's kind of what helps push these guys as well as push those JV kids into the expectation. And once, we talk a little bit about meet the expectation. What are we doing to meet the expectation? So with the JV, you're right. It's a big piece.
Alex, you guys have fewer losses of the JV. You don't want those JV girls coming and talking trash, do you?
No, sir. Of course not.
You don't want to lose a game and have them win one, because do they play before or after you on the road when you guys go somewhere?
Usually before.
Okay, so you don't want them on the bus ride home. I mean, you have to give up the front seats, or?
Oh, no.
No.
I think maybe we should start putting something on it.
There you go. I think it was Nick Saban used to do a thing with winner won steaks and the loser got hot dogs. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
There we go. 5-0 in district, 18-2 overall. You mentioned going through the first wave of district, and your district is no joke. You have, I remember us talking about that as well this summer. Your district, when you were in Levelland, was competitive. You had some good teams. There's no nights off in your district. Everybody, if you don't come and have your laces good and tight, they can beat you. Absolutely, and we talk a little bit about what are we doing to ensure that doesn't happen, and one of the philosophies I talk about is win the games you're supposed to and surprise the heck out of the ones you're not. And so these girls come ready every day. The game that sticks out in my mind that I think everybody was kind of excited to see was it earlier this week or last week when you went on the road down to Midland, which I think was 21-2 at that point. Right. It was Friday. Kelvie, what was the environment down like there? Because I spent a little bit of time in Midland. They get pretty excited about their high school sports down there.
Every year, Midland High is the game that we are most focused on usually, and we know stepping off of that bus, we're completely game ready mindset, and it's a really great environment. It's a lot of fun, but also you can feel the tension, and it was good to have that win. We're going to talk more about that game and what's coming up for the Tigers when we come back after the break on the Tiger Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down friendship sports. This is the Tigers Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the Tiger Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We're talking friendship softball in the Tiger Zone. Ryan, we were talking about the Midland High game a little bit before. Just kind of give me the nutshell of that game, because as we were talking there between breaks, those are the kind of games. First of all, I'm not going to talk for you, but to me, if I'm a coach, those are the ones I look forward to. Absolutely. You get to coach, you get to strategize, you get to keep motivating these girls for 7 innings instead of getting to the third and it's 12-0. You're like, all right. Well, I want you to talk about first. I want the girls to talk about being in a tight game like that. Yes, it's a playoff atmosphere for sure, and that's as a coaching staff, that's what we're talking about. Is this is a good one for us. It's a playoff atmosphere, and the kids are going to have to push themselves to a different level because it's going to be tight. It's going to be a fight the entire game. And I think we got 2 runs up fairly soon, and then after that we kind of paused off a little bit, and then they answered back. And when they did, that was the first thing that we talked about was, guys, we knew it was going to be a fight, and we're going to be in it the entire time. And so they're an extremely well coached team, and they're disciplined. And so whenever you get with a team like that, I mean, it's like second or third round type atmosphere, yep. And we have to find a way to go win, and that's exactly what these ladies did. Is they strung together runs when they needed them, played defense behind the great pitcher, and did what we had to find a win. Kelvie, what are games like that? How much more do those help you than? I know it's nice every once in a while to run rule somebody, but being in tight games like that one in the Permian game that was 5-2, how much does that help you guys when you get later in the season?
I think it brings a lot of the team together because we know we're in it for each other. We do want to beat this team, and we're doing everything we can. And the feeling is, I can't even find the word, like, to know that you're, like, the girls that you are playing with are with you 100% for, like, what's going to happen next. And we're just working every pitch to, yes.
One thing, Alex, somebody, one of my guys covered your game. I think it was your 12-2 game a while back, and it was the photographer who sent me a message and said I couldn't get any pictures of the defense because Lexi Clark struck everybody out. I said, yeah, she's going to do that once in a while, which is cool. She's great.
Yes.
But when you have to play some defense behind her, when you have to do those little things that Coach is talking about, make those little plays, how much more locked in does that make you?
I feel like I'm really locked in, and I know when a ball comes my way, I know what to do, and yeah.
You ever go to Lexi and say, hey, can you get us a little bit more involved?
I'm like, let her hit, Lexi, we got your back. Like, I tell her things. I tell her different things every pitch, and I hype her up.
What's her strikeout total right now?
Before the last game, I think it was 172. So I think now she'd be 178, something like that. I think she had 5 the other 9. Yes, we're getting closer.
Basically, out of this, if you play 7 innings, for 3 innings, you guys are just standing out there. That's pretty good strategy if you're a coach.
Well, the whole thing is Lexi comes in and she's one of the first ones to talk people up.
Yes.
And these kids are the same way. They're going to go and they're going to get behind her. She messes up. It's not a problem. We've got it. Last night, our other pitcher, Melody, she threw a great game. And these kids were here. They had her back. We had a couple of close calls, but we had her back. And that's resiliency is really what it comes down to. Going back to the Midland High game, it's resiliency. It's finding a way to win when, odds are not in your favor sometimes. And I know a lot of people were trying to count us out of those games, and I think that's just extra motivation, really.
What makes you guys good offensively, Kelvie? When I look at your numbers, you guys, it seems like you're winning in different ways. You're doing different things well. What are a couple things that you guys do well?
I think the way we practice really helps how we play on the field. And the trust we have for each other. I know Alex is going to ground the ball that's getting hit to her. She knows I'm going to pick it if anything happens. And we're just there for each other, really.
So I was writing a story today. We're 2.5 weeks left in the regular season, a little over 2 weeks. Ryan, what's the quick answer to what you want to see your girls do in these 2 weeks to be ready? Because I think it's pretty safe to say you're playoff bound. You're in good shape, let's put it that way.
Finish. I mean, that's the quick answer. It's finish. It's finish the work. It's always been finish the work. And, again, I hadn't got to say it yet, but our coaching staff is great. Coach Curiel, Coach Tomlinson, couldn't do it without them. And, we put together a good practice plan for these kids, and they come out, they compete well in practice, and that's what's going to make us finish.
We'll have these guys on again. That's going to wrap us up for now on the Tiger Fan Zone. We'll be back after the break in the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.